What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Jedrick Wills, offensive lineman out of Alabama. Now, this is a guy that I absolutely think will be playing tackle and should be playing tackle because tackles are so rare in the league. So I definitely want to play him there. I know a lot of people give right tackles a lot of shit because that is what he played primarily at Alabama. Because it's kind of old school mentality that, you know, your left tackle is usually your best tackle because that's on your quarterback's blind side. And I understand that mentality, but I also think it's better to just have two good tackles instead of worrying about that. Because you don't want your quarterback getting hit in the face either. But, and also he was a right tackle, but keep in mind that Tua Tagovailoa is left-handed anyway. So the right side is Tua's his blind side. But so just keep that in mind. But I'm a big fan of this guy. I mean, I really am. He is super refined. He's maybe my favorite offensive lineman in this class. I haven't looked at everybody yet, but so far he is my favorite. But his technique is just fantastic. He might not be like the most powerful person in this class. Don't get my words twisted. I'm not saying he's not powerful, because he is. He's just not maybe as powerful as like Mekhi Becton, who's like 60, 50 pounds heavier than him and like 3 or 4 inches taller. He's not quite as powerful as him, but he's got plenty of power to get the job done, and his technique is way more refined. One thing I really love is he keeps his shoulders parallel to the defender. That's something that a lot of offensive linemen are not good about doing. He kind of shadows the edge rusher. He does it very well. That way, if the rusher wants to try to cut back inside or cut hard outside, he can react either way. He's not going to be caught out of position too often. I mean, sometimes it happens. You get some of these athletic monsters out there. Of course, you're going to get beat once in a while. But 9 times out of 10, he's going to win that matchup because of his technique. And his shoulders are always square, too. He keeps his feet, like, parallel to his shoulders as well. His base is really good. He keeps his knees bent. Just fantastic technique with this guy. He gets his hands inside, and if you have watched this channel, when I talk about offense and defensive linemen, that is my favorite trait. If you get your hands inside, I can't stand the fact that so many coaches now at the college and high school levels are not teaching their linemen to do that. It drives me nuts, because when you get your hands inside on their chest, that's where your power is, that's where your control is. And like, think about it like another YouTuber, Voch Lombardi. He always says, like, think about if you're trying to push a refrigerator over. You want to get your knees bent, your hips sunken down. You want to get low, and you want to explode with your hands to the middle to tip that refrigerator over. If you get your hands to the outside, your back is going to bend. You might end up pulling something. You're not going to be as powerful there. So yeah, that's just my thing. Like I said, his feet are fantastic. He just moves really well, both in zone run type things and in the pass game. Just absolutely fantastic, especially for his size. He's about 6'4", about 315-ish pounds. He's just a monster. I love him. And like I said, he also has the power to match. I mean, I've seen him whoop some people's ass. Like, he actually has a quick set sometimes too, but he doesn't do it too much where it's a detriment. And what I mean by quick set, like especially in like a run game, where instead of like pulling back and reacting, the second the ball is snapped, he'll just quick set and just hit them first. And he doesn't do it too often, which is good. Because if you quick set too often and you get too aggressive too often, then a lot of these really good defensive linemen in the NFL, they're going to swim over the top of you, and your face is going to be in the dirt. So I'm glad he doesn't do it too often. He only brings it out once in a while, and it can catch the defensive lineman off guard, and he ends up winning some matchups that way. And the good thing too, even when he does make a mistake, or if he quick sets and someone does capitalize on it, because it has happened a few times, he has the ability to recover really well. Because like I said, his feet are really good, and keeps his shoulders square, so that allows him to recover well. And 9 times out of 10, even if he does make a mistake, he can recover and get back parallel with that defensive lineman before he gets to his quarterback. He's saved Tua many times doing that. And one thing I really like about him too is he finishes as well. A lot of people, it's particularly in the run game, usually when you see people that are like super technical like him, a lot of times you don't see them finishing too well. They just kind of stick to their fundamentals, and they just keep their block. And he can do that as well, especially on people that he can't really overpower. But he finishes really well. Like he's really good at taking people out of the play. Like especially in like zone run plays, he's really good at scoop blocks. And what that means is, like, let's say you got to run, because he played right tackle primarily at Alabama. So let's say you're doing an outside run to the left. He is really good at jumping the 3-tech or the 3-4 defensive end, depending on what defensive scheme he's playing at. And instead of just blocking him, he'll full on cut that guy off and just put his whole body in between the running back and the defensive lineman. So there's no way that he's going to be able to get through. He's fantastic at doing that. It showed up on tape so many times in the run game. He did that for Tua. He did that for Jerry Jeudy when they'd give him the ball. Like, it was something he did regularly. Najee Harris, of course, because he's the actual running back. But, yeah, just fantastic player. I think this is a guy that you can put in any kind of scheme, and it'll pretty much work. If you want to put him in a zone blocking scheme, he'll do really well. I think that would actually be his best bet. But if you're like a team like Tennessee, who does a lot of power run stuff, I think he'll do really well there too. Like Mekhi Becton, as much as I like him, I really want to see him in a power run scheme. He has so much. I don't want to get into Mekhi Becton, but I'm just saying. I think this guy is the most refined offensive lineman I've seen in this class so far. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to give my thoughts on him. I'm a big fan of this guy. I love him. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.